This message is for people who think they may become the next victims of gentrification and displacement. This includes people who rent their apartments and also small business owners. Hi, my name is Louis Flores. I've lived in New York for over 25 years. During that time, I've seen Democrats sell out the community every chance they get. I'm running to represent District 3 in the City Council as an independent because it's time we Dem Exit for our own survival. The district I'm seeking to represent is in a funny shape. Because of some gerrymandering, the district roughly runs from the corner of 54th Street and 7th Avenue west to the small business graveyard known as Hell's Kitchenette, going on to the Hudson River, the half of Times Square that runs west of Broadway, sweeping up the theater district behind me, including Restaurant Row, running east to Madison Square Park, and everyone in between. Of course, Chelsea, to the West Village, and all the way down to Spring Street on the far west side of Soho. I'm running in the November 2025 general election. I'm starting out early because I face an uphill battle. Whether I win depends on voters opening their eyes to the repeated betrayals by the Democratic Party. Check this out. In this district alone, the Democrats are responsible for or have surrendered due to the migrant crisis. Fuzzy quality of life complaints that actually mask the spread of drugs and violence. Non-stop luxury housing and luxury condo construction that leads to primary and secondary displacement. The hospital closing crisis. Who can forget the refrigerator truck parked outside of the Lenox Hill Urgent Care Center because there was no St. Vincent's Hospital there to care for people at the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic? The sellout and the demolition of public housing in this district. Every chance Democrats get, they give up on you, yet you keep voting for Democrats. Why is that? Based on past voting patterns, Democrats keep expecting that you're going to vote for them, even as they continue to sell you out. As a result, this campaign is going to require critical thinking on your part. I hope you can keep an open mind. Let's look at Hudson Yards, for example. The billionaire white nationalist Trump donor behind Hudson Yards exploited the tax system in order to finance a rapid expansion of his wealth, all at taxpayer expense. Hudson Yards gerrymandered their way into tax credits meant for public housing in Harlem, qualifying it for a tax program intended for distressed properties. Stephen Ross had a subway station installed at taxpayer expense. I allege because of the collapse of commercial real estate values, Stephen Ross is pressured to build a casino and to annex public housing in order to keep his real estate empire afloat. Can you raise your family in a neighborhood with a lurid Vegas-style casino and a suicide vessel? It doesn't make any sense, and yet that's exactly what Democrats have planned for this district. I'm also running for city council because I'm a survivor of housing court and the public and private homeless shelter systems here in New York City. We live in a society that chews people up and then spits them out. I think it's time we fix this city. Hear me out a little more. Thousands of our neighbors live in public housing, and the owner of Hudson Yards has a plan to demolish public housing in this district. There are many problems with this plan. Every time the government allows public housing to be demolished, thousands of families are displaced and they never move back, meaning amidst the housing crisis, Stephen Ross is going to wholesale clear out low-income tenants from our district. Another problem is that Stephen Ross will be given strategic public assets that could be valued in the billions based on the rent rolls he'll be collecting from Section 8 vouchers. And that's because the Democrats don't want to admit that they are quietly surrendering your right to the city because that's exactly what's happening right now. The functions of local government have become distorted by racism and by corruption. Therefore, we must encourage the feds to investigate the corruption that is driving our displacement. With your help and support, we can fix this. Before you get gentrified out of this district, maybe it's time that my entrenched Democratic opponent experience a little displacement, like from elected office. My name is Louis Flores, and I approve this message.